It is a great honor and a privilege to introduce Jacob Stanger. We're here in your beautiful home in Golders Green in London. And Jacob, you are Canaan Horror 101 and a half. You were born on the 31st of July 1924 in Frankfurt, Allemagne.
Yeah.
Sure. And you came from a very distinguished religious family in Frankfurt.
Yeah.
What do you remember about your grandparents and your parents?
Pardon?
What do you remember about your parents and your grandparents?
My grandparents, I don't remember anything. My parents, everything. Everything from the day I was born.
So I'm just going to show a picture. This is a picture of your parents in Frankfurt. And what are the memories that you have of your parents?
Pardon?
What memories do you have of your parents?
Everything what I am today, that's a copy of my parents.
Your father, he was in the German army in the First World War.
Yeah.
And I think he got a medal from Hitler, Marshall.
Yeah.
Wow. And your grandfather, he established a bookshop?
Yeah. I have one.
Wow.
It was 1883 it was founded. And my father worked there, and afterwards he married my mother, who was the daughter of my grandfather.
Your parents got married in 1919, and I think
after the war.
After the war. And you had, there were 6 children.
Oh, yeah.
Your eldest sister was Rosie.
Rosie, Raphael, Erich, me, Ruth, and Arthur.
And what do you remember about your home, growing up in Frankfurt?
Yeah.
You came from a very religious home.
Yeah. Yes. Very, very religious.
And
across from our house, like this wall there, was the Schneider Yeshiva. And we heard everything. Every Kaddish, every Baruch, everything in our house. Just across the road.
And the shul was nearby, was very nearby.
There was a shul. We lived on number 9, and there was a Klaus, which was number 15. And a shul with about 120 seats.
It was the Friedberger Anlage.
No. Friedberger Anlage was further away. This was a big shul.
I think that had 3,000 seats.
Yeah.
And which shul did your family go to?
Mainly next door. But we all, every Shabbos we were in the big shul.
And that was that the Samson Raphael Hirsch shul?
Pardon?
Was that from Samson Raphael Hirsch? From Samson Raphael Hirsch?
Something of old Hirsch.
That was his Kehillah.
Yeah. I was bar mitzvah.
What do you remember about your bar mitzvah?
Huh?
What do you remember about your bar mitzvah?
Everything.
Do you remember the portion?
Yes. What I learned, and in matter of fact, when I was bar mitzvah, the same Shabbos was somebody else bar mitzvah as well, in the same shul. Half of it I learned and half he did, right? From 9 Posen zusammen.
And Jacob, do you remember the Sedra? What the Sedra?
About the Masse.
And going to Cheder, do you remember going to Cheder?
There was no hate, there was a school.
And what school did you go to?
First in the Volksschule and afterwards in the Gymnasium.
And most of the friends growing up, were they Jewish friends or did you have any Goyish friends?
No, no Goyim. Only Eden.
And I think across very close to your school was a Goyish school.
No. There was next door was a Goyish gymnasium. And at the beginning, the first month or two, when we finished the school, they finished as well. And it was a big, they were following us and hitting us to go in. And then we made the arrangement that they are finishing a quarter of an hour later. Then we are away.
And you remembered, were you ever hit by the Goyim?
Oh, many times. Many times.
And Jacob, do you remember in 1933 when Hitler Yamach Shemel came to power?
Yeah.
Do you remember the Hitler Youth and do you remember the marching?
I remember before Hitler came to power, there was the Bolsheviks and the Nazis, so the two parties, and they were fighting each other. And afterwards the Nazis won, and then they came against the Juden.
And you remember the Hitler Youth?
Of course. Of course. I grew up with them.
And when Hitler came to power, there was no kosher food. The kosher food stopped?
So one of the first things Hitler did when he came to power to stop the Shechita. So the only meat we had was when we had an uncle in Antwerp. He sent it by air to us. But it was a miracle how my mother told him, how she managed. We were always at least 12 people at the table. How to feed 12 people without meat or chicken. It was a miracle.
And there was always enough food. There was always enough.
Oh, of course, of course.
Sure. Your parents were very special. So here we have, I'll just show the picture of your parents again. And do you remember uncles and aunts or?
Yes, of course. My father.
And can I ask, Jacob, what type of work did your father do?
What in the business? He was in the business.
Was he also involved with the bookshop?
Yeah, he was a book. He was the owner. Afterwards, when my grandparents died, he was the only years.
And it was a from bookshop. It was.
Yeah. In the First World War, when my father was in the army, In Germany there were hundreds, not 100, but many hundreds small killers. And when my thing said to my father, you Sanger, you've got it easy. You've got a Scheile, you go to the Hof, you go to the dying, and he asked, whom shall I ask? So my father made a nader, if he comes healthy from the business, from the war, he had the kisses over punctuated and translated in German.
And he did it?
Yeah. I remember when it came out, it came in 36 small volumes, and afterwards in three. Yeah.
And Jacob, what did you speak at home? Did you speak German or did you speak Yiddish?
No, German.
Did you know Yiddish?
Yeah, I know. But only afterwards, after I left Germany.
And do you remember the Rabbonim in Frankfurt?
Yeah.
Which Rabbonim do you remember? Or
Rabbiner Breuer.
you remember Rabbreuer?
Yeah. And
And going to school, you had Rabbonim, prominent Rabbonim that taught you?
no, we had teachers. Two teachers. Only for swim, we had a guy to teacher.
What was the name of the school?
And the one was Jüdische Volksschule, and the other one was sometimes Volksschule. Yeah, that was a high school.
And Jacob, can I ask, when Hitler came to power, you could feel there was the tension in the air. You could feel things were changing.
I could feel it in the air. I could feel the first day, no meat, no, how is it? No equality.
You could see on the benches that they said Jews forbidden.
That was afterwards. No Juden erlaubt. Yeah.
Did you have to wear the yellow star?
No, that was afterwards.
Wow. And this was this the star that you wore?
No, I didn't wear it. I got it from the
This is very, 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 very special. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how did your parents, how did they help you during this very difficult time? It must have been so difficult for you.
We have got relations in Switzerland. I was in 1936 and 37 in holidays there. In Switzerland there.
Here's a picture when you were in Switzerland.
Yeah. And after the 10th of November, 16th of Kristallnacht, after the Kristallnacht. I was in the Kristallnacht. I saw it, unfortunately, as I told you before, the forum von the metro across the road from us. They're thrown on the street. They trampled on them and set them on fire. And afterwards they throw out the separatoires.
And you saw it?
Yeah. I saw them burning.
And you went 6:30 to your shul, and you saw that your shul was burnt with your tefillin and your talis.
Yeah. I went in the morning to shul, and so to shul, with my talis and tefillin were burnt. I went crying home, without downing. Yeah.
And then you saw what they did to the Schneider Yeshiva.
Pardon?
And then you saw what the Nazis came into the Schneider Yeshiva.
Yeah. They went in. The door was closed, but first it's open, finished. Our thing, our flat as well, everything was finished. In our flat. We couldn't sleep there, we couldn't eat there, nothing.
They came in and they broke.
Yeah.
But there was one Nazi that asked you had bicycles in the...
Yeah.
And he asked you, where's your bicycle?
Yeah. We had, in our forum, 5 bicycles. Only one of the Goyim. It wasn't a Nazi. Asked me which one is yours. In German, of course. Take it out and I help you out. In front of the house were hundreds and hundreds of Nazis. And when it's all something there, they went in.
And you were living on the east end of Frankfurt, but you went to your relatives on the west end.
Well, when I was out of the area where the hundreds of Nazis were in the street, I went on my bike and I went to my uncle in the west end. And they didn't know anything about it. They didn't know.
They didn't know about Kristallnacht. They hadn't heard what had happened in Kristallnacht. And I think your parents were taken to the police station and interrogated.
Yeah. I wasn't there. I wasn't with them. I was with my uncle in the West End.
And it was your Uncle Felix?
Yeah.
How long did you stay with your relatives?
Only overnight. And then I went to my auntie, who was living 10 minutes walk from our house. And there I met my mother and the family.
They must have been very relieved to see you. They must have thought, what had happened to you?
Yeah. They didn't know what happened to me.
And did you see a lot of shops being destroyed, or
no?
Only the shul? Afterwards. And I think at this time, did your family realize that you had to leave, that things were...
They didn't know. They didn't know where I am. One guy told me your bike, I help you out. He took me on the arm and took me outside.
So he had a good heart.
But it wasn't a Nazi. It was a Goy.
It was a German.
Yeah.
So there were good Germans as well.
Yeah.
And you remember the crowd? People were looking. Did anybody?
Yeah.
Did anybody try to come to help the family or to?
No. He took me on the arm and said, yeah.
And when they were burning the Sefer Torahs and you didn't see the fire engines coming, no one came to help.
Nobody. I saw it from our flat. It was across the road from us. It was out, and
that must have been terrible to see that. What a terrible thing to see.
yeah. Yeah.
And Jacob, when did your family then decide that they must leave Germany? When did your parents decide it's time to go, it's time to leave, it's too bad, it's too dangerous?
On the Kristallnacht.
On that night.
But the business, everything was ruined. It was a metal shutters, holding it and broke the glass and everything.
And what happened to all this for him? Did they? Now, what happened in your house? You had something very special. You had a Sefer Torah.
No. Yeah. We had a Sefer Torah from a customer, and every room was demolished. All the windows broken, all the furniture broken, but this room, no window broken, no furniture broken, nothing. So I thought the Sefer Torah must have been a schmierer. And I had the intention, if a girl helps me, I left Germany with nothing. I have a Sefer Torah written and keep it in the house as a schmierer. And I've got a Sefer Torah here.
And it's a nice. It was a shmirah. It saved. It was and it saved the family. It's possible it saved your family.
Yeah. And not only that, if someone has a Torah, there's a law. When I had to re-roll it once. I didn't have a cheshire to re-roll it once. So I was the first one in Manchester who started the Mincha Gedoyle every Shabbos. They came in 10, 20, 30, 50, up to 90 people. And then ein paar Zocher, there came the women. Over 90 people.
It's amazing. Sure.
Yeah.
And Jacob, your brother, Raphael, he had already gone to Gateshead.
Yeah.
He was learning in Gateshead.
Yeah.
So he never witnessed
No.
Kristallnacht. And your father and his brother,
Meyer.
your father went to England. Your father managed
Yeah.
to get into England.
Yeah. You see, after the Kristallnacht, there was only one thing out. But unfortunately, nobody let them in, because Hitler introduced on every passport to put a J in it. Jude.
They say that Switzerland were the ones that gave the mention they should put the J in
And
the passport.
one of the J in it, nobody lets them in, only with a visa.
And you had to have guarantors. It was very difficult.
Yeah.
It was so difficult. So your father and his brother, they received a permit, and your father and his brother, they received a permit to go to England, and then your mother and your sister,
Yeah.
they managed to get to England
Yeah.
just
To
before
get
the
a
war.
visa, to get somebody guaranteed for the upkeep of this person in order to get a visa.
But your mother and your sister only got to England a week before, in August,
Right.
a week before the outbreak of the
Right.
war.
Yes.
And then unfortunately your Eric, your brother, couldn't get a visa.
No.
And he couldn't go to Switzerland like you went with your
No.
brother.
No, because in Switzerland the relations, they're guaranteed for 2 people, not more.
So you went with Arthur. And Ruth managed to go to France.
Pardon?
Your sister Ruth,
Yeah.
she went to France.
Yeah, we had a relation in France.
But your brother Eric,
Couldn't even get the visa.
and I think 3 weeks after the war started, your father, he got a heart attack
Yeah.
from the grief, knowing that he had a son that couldn't leave Germany. And he was left there, he passed away.
Yeah. He was shot by the Nazis in Lithuania.
He was killed in Lithuania, Eric, in 1942.
Yeah. He was sent from Frankfurt to Lithuania, and there was,
I think you and your wife later went to Frankfurt on a trip, and you saw the memorial,
yeah,
and you saw his name and what had happened.
yeah,
It's so sad that he couldn't get a guarantor or he couldn't get a visa into a country.
there wasn't a one, there were thousands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jacob, you and your younger brother, Arthur, you went to Switzerland.
Yeah.
So Jacob, you and your brother, you went on a train to Lucerne.
That's it.
Do you remember leaving Germany?
Pardon?
Do you remember the day you left? Do you remember leaving?
It's the 21st of June, 1939.
What did you take with you?
What my mother packed.
And you remember saying goodbye to your mother? It must have,
Yeah.
you didn't know when you were going to see her again.
She was at the station.
Was it very emotional? You didn't know how long you were going to go away for.
Nobody knew. Nobody knew that. How long for? A week, a year, 2 years, nobody knew.
And who were your relatives in Lucerne?
Yeah.
Who were on your mother's side or your father's side?
From my mother's side, had relations, Braunschweiger.
Were they from family?
Yeah.
And you stayed with them? And were they kind to you? Were they good to you?
Oh, yeah.
You had been there before in the holidays.
Yeah. Twice. 1936 to 37. And afterwards, I was drafted into labor camp in Switzerland. It was very hard work.
And I think what you in the labor camp, because you had to go, you were of the age that you had to go,
I was stateless.
but there was no kosher food in the
Yeah.
that labor camp.
I was drafted in a youth labor camp, which was Treif. There was one labor camp which was kosher. So I went to the authorities in Zurich, and I told them, you can force me to the labor camp, but you can't force me to eat there. I was transferred.
But that was for older. The boys there were much older, and you had to work very hard.
Very hard labor.
It was making the roads, and
Yeah.
you had to go underground. And how long were you working in the labor camp?
1.5 years.
And were there other Jewish labor?
Yeah, all religious.
All religious?
It was a kosher labor camp. Yeah.
And Arthur, because he was much younger, he was 4 years younger than you, so he stayed at home. He stayed with your relatives, and he went to school.
Yeah.
But during this time, you kept in touch with your, I think you were the one that could correspond with your sister and with your parents.
Yeah. No problem.
And you would get letters and you could correspond?
I was the only one who could correspond with England and Germany.
Because Switzerland was neutral. It was a neutral camp. So you were the connection between...
He's 15 years old.
And were you corresponding with your brother Eric, who was still in Germany?
Yeah, of course.
And couldn't the family in Switzerland organize for him to come? Oh, it's so sad. It's so tragic. It's so sad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah.
And your sister, she was with a non-from family. She eventually went to America.
Yeah. And she was 18 for a year, for a few years, only fruit.
Was this Ruth? This is your sister Ruth?
Yeah. It's a quarter kingdom here. The daughter, that's her mother.
That's her mother. So
Yeah.
in this picture, Jacob, this is you with...
It's with Rosie.
This is with your elder sister.
Yeah.
This is when you came to England.
Yeah.
And during this time that you were in Switzerland, did you know what was going on in Germany, or what was going on with the camps? Or
I knew. Well, I can't do anything. What can I do? In Germany it was from the government. As a boy against the government.
And when did you hear that your father had passed away, that he got the heart attack and he was nifter?
I was told about 3 months later. Yeah.
It must have come as a terrible shock, a terrible... And with your brother, you were a big help. knowing your brother was he was only 10 when you
Yeah.
came to Switzerland.
Yeah.
You were very close with your brother.
I took care of him. Yeah, yeah.
And Jacob, when the war ended, what do you remember when the war ended?
Yeah.
What is the memories that you have when the war came to an end?
When I will have a chance to reunite with my mother, which was a year later.
So you were 9 years in Switzerland.
Yeah.
You hadn't seen your mother and your sister for 9 years.
Yeah.
Your brother, I think he went a year before you, and you only went.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because he was younger, he was a youth.
And when you eventually got to England, what do you remember about the trip going to England? What do you remember about when you were allowed to when you got a permit to come into England?
Yeah.
Meeting your mother and your sister, it must have been very emotional.
Okay.
And what was when you met your mother? It was you hadn't seen her for 9 years, and your sister.
Yeah.
Did you bond with her immediately, or?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes.
And with your sister, you were very close. And
Yeah.
And Jacob, can I ask you, when did you see Ruth again?
What?
Ruth, who went, she was in Strasbourg and then she went to America.
Yeah.
When did you see her again?
She came about a year after me for a visit from America to England.
And how was the reunion? Was it?
Yeah.
Sure. So you left Germany as a boy, as a young boy, and you saw your mother as a young man.
Yeah. I was 19.
And I think when you came to England, they were in Torquay. Where did you first go when you came to England?
I was staying a few days. It was my aunt had a hotel in Torquay. I stayed there. And then I got a job in Exeter, which is an hour drive. So every day I went by train for an hour each way, there and back.
I just have to mention, Jacob, when you were in Switzerland, you wanted to learn to do watches, but you had to pay for it. You needed...
Yeah. Didn't have the money.
So I think you went in to become a furrier.
Yeah.
And they paid you...
£7 a week.
But then you did something very unusual. If somebody was nifter, if somebody had passed away, somebody had to watch over.
Yeah.
And you did that quite
Yeah.
often.
Yeah.
For the Chevra Kadisha?
Yeah.
And they paid.
Yeah.
And becoming a furrier,
Yeah.
you became an expert. Expert at it.
I was the only one who made a Stramme lottery. the roof in Manchester asked me if I can make a sample. So I told him, I can make it, yeah, but I need a sample. He gave me a sample and I copied it. Yeah.
And when you came to England, did you worked as a furrier in the beginning?
Yeah.
And then when did you decide to go to Manchester? Soon afterwards, did you decide to go to Manchester?
Yeah. In Manchester, I started when I came to Turkey, I was an employee for £7 a week. And in Manchester, I made myself on my own.
And you started doing very well. Kennen.
I was the most mechanized factory in England.
You started making handbags.
Yeah. Because as a furrier, you work 6 months and 6 months to make sock from January till July. And July till December, you make sock if you haven't got the money. So I went over to handbags, and that was very successful. I built a factory, a big one. I was the most mechanized factory in England.
And Jacob, can I ask you, when did you first meet your wife?
In St. Moritz.
You asked for salt, there was a salt on the table.
Yeah. I was in the hotel, I was washing, and there was salt on the table, so I went to the next table and took salt. So, and I gave it back. And so told her, Mr. Stanger, you're very cheeky. Yeah.
And that's how you met? And then you asked her, would you share your life with me?
Yeah.
And Ken and her, you were married for how many years? It was more than 63 years that you were married?
70.
70 years. Ken and her.
Yeah.
So here's a picture of...
Yeah.
And where were you married?
In Milan.
How come you decided you got married in Milan?
My wife was living in Milan.
And she was also a survivor. Your wife was also a survivor.
My wife comes to, listen carefully, from the unfortunately most well-known town in the world. Unfortunately, most well-known town in the world.
Which town is it?
Auschwitz.
I've been there. I've actually been, and they have a Beit Knesset. They've got a shul in.
Yeah.
So she was born in.
She was born actually in. Italy, because Rolf told them to go to Italy to make a more boarding house, but the people coming on the journey to Erzurum's, they've got to wait there.
And she grew up in right by Auschwitz in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what year were you married?
Pardon?
In what year were you married?
In Milan.
So this is, both pictures were taken in Switzerland. One was before the war and one was after the war.
During the war.
During the war. And when you were living in Switzerland, were the Swiss people, were they kind?
No. I didn't have anything to do with the Goyim.
You never had any anti-Semitism or?
No, not much.
And could you always kept kosher? You always?
Yes.
And all your siblings remained from their. It's amazing. Wow. And when you met your wife and you got married in Milan.
Yeah.
And Canada, you were married for 70 years. So you have a book. It's so wonderful. My Yiddish Nachas, with you and your dear wife. And we have, this is the picture, another picture of you and your wife. And this is with your mishpacha.
Yeah.
And Jacob, were you happy in Manchester? You were happy?
Yeah.
In this picture, this is also you with your mishpacha.
Yeah.
And in Manchester, which kahila did you belong in Manchester?
Alle Schulen. Jekes. Yeah.
So Jacob, I want to ask you, you've seen so much in your life and you've been through so much and you've seen Kristallnacht, you've witnessed, eyewitness to the worst that can happen, to the terrible atrocities that, and you lost a brother in the Shoah. What message do you impart to your children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and to the future generations?
Keep our destiny. But I came from my Yerusalem, keep it here, great children, keep it up.
And your whole family remained from?
My son, one son is living in the Iraq. He's dying. For the whole, he's been asked by the council to withdraw from Iraq.
See, your parents instilled such values and such. You had the most amazing parents that they. I'll just show it. And they were always proud Yidden, very proud Yidden.
Yeah.
And you had a kesher with Rav Kahanaman.
What?
Rav Kahanaman, you had a kesher with the Ponevezh Rov.
Yeah.
This is you with the Ponevezh Rov, and he would come and stay with you.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think one of the attributes that you have, and you always mention, is karasa tov, to be grateful.
Yeah.
And to have derech eretz. That was derech eretz was.
Kosher Torah.
You would always come to shul early. You would never be late for shul.
You know why?
Jacob, Derech Eretz is a very important part of your life.
What?
Derech Eretz.
Yeah.
And having Derech Eretz coming to shul early.
Yeah. I usually own the Zoom.
And I think you once mentioned that you were never late for a meeting. If you had a meeting with customers, you were always on time, you were never late.
You know why I'm never late? The people shouldn't say it's a late Mr. Stanger.
Oh, that is incredible. Wow. Sure. Well, I cannot thank you enough. Oh, that is just wonderful.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you. This has been such an honor and a privilege to be with you. But Jacob, I am so grateful to you. There are no words to express my appreciation to you. It's been such a schut, a tremendous schut to hear your story and to be in your home and to meet somebody who Canaan Horror is nearly 102 Canaan Horror, but you are just somebody we should all strive to emulate. You are amazing, and I'm so incredibly grateful to you. And you should only have nachas and mazel and meivesrim.
There's a thing of Yiddish nachas. You know why? Because there's one of the granddaughters of Aesop's. He's called Nachas. He shouldn't be Aesop's Nachas.
So it should be Yiddish nachas. And I'm going to show pictures of your dear mishpacha, but being in your home here in Golders Green and being with you on Chol HaMoed, it's such a schut, and we should all have a Shana Tova. And if I could ask you, could you give a bracha?
Keep up your good work for many years.
It's important that people they learn and they hear the stories and they learn from it, and it should never happen again. And a bracha for Am Yisrael.
For Klal Yisrael.
For Klal Yisrael.
I misspell every day for Klal Yisrael.
We need your tefillahs.
Yeah.
I am so incredibly grateful to you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
If I can help anything.
It's been so wonderful. I'm just going to show you have such beautiful pictures and you have such a wonderful home. And these are the pictures of your dear mishpacha. Jacob, thank you very, very, very much. A Shana Tova